Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because, motherfucker, if you not, I'm just letting you know he's coming back anyway.
For the return. Gotta get all red.
What's up? Oh, now shit. Now it's too dark. Too darks. Jesus. All right, let's do some yellow. Wait. Hold on. There we go. It's just like the clumsiest setting. All right. Good enough. What's up? What's up, everyone? I'm going to put some music in the background. I came prepared this time. Something in the background. We're here, everybody. Buttons. We got a lot of buttons here. Buttons. We got a lot of buttons. We got a lot of effects. We got fucking CGI. We got fucking LCD, VHS. We got all the fancy shit here. What is that shit called now? We use AI, actual intelligence. What the fuck's up, everybody? Let's say hello to everyone. Who's here? Fucking Spirit, calling me on my pendejadas, dude. I think I'm 2 for 2 as of late. Starting off all muted and all the audio all upside down. Hello, Mamalonskis. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna explain that one to him in a little bit. Hell yeah, James, Laurel. Grind your mind. Glad you're here, Mr. Kelly. Gonna see you soon, right? Are you going to are you going to the Ohio show? Are you gonna be there? That'd be cool. Who else is here? I'm scrolling. Macabre 19. Macabre 19. Macabre. I grew up saying macabre. Silly. What else? Who else is here? Let's scrolling. Hellish Conquest. Hell yeah. Welcome. Everybody's chilling. Míralo, el pinche Rotten Pucks. Bonks. 666. Good to see you, brother. 999. Head split. What's up, Dylan? A huevo. You get an a huevo. You're an honorary Mexicano, dude. You roll. From Portland. Or Oregon. I'm sorry, not Portland. I don't know. You could be. All right, who else is chilling? Look at that. Minnesota. In the fucking house. How you doing? T-Bone. I got to meet I don't know if y'all knew, but I got to hang out with him a few times. Very cool dude. James too. A bunch of you guys, man. That's us so far. If you're lurking, y'all know what lurkers are, right? The chat knows. Most of these cats know what lurkers are. Lurkers are people who are just chilling. Type it in. Say, hey, hello, what's going on? You know? Don't just hear us. Like, let us know you're here, man. So everybody knows. Let's get to it. Everybody knows what's going on today. A few months ago, a year or two ago. Shit, time flies. I don't even remember. I got to talk to Craig Smilowski, originally from the Pennsylvania area. He'll explain that. He'll clarify all that information. And he now is in the Florida area. But Yeah, this guy is one of the greats. You guys know, right? You guys know who he is. I'm sure you guys know all his bands. We were talking about it the last time, and man, it's a fucking is an honor, dude. You guys, he's a musician that inspires a whole bunch of us, and happens to be one that I've been like learning from. I mean, you know, inadvertently, because I listen and I analyze, and I easily like and recognize this guy's drumming. You know, there's musicians out there where you can kind of hear their sound, and a lot of people agree. This guy is revered, and yeah, Gorophobia. There you go. You guys know him. List him. If you know him, list him. List him. You guys know. Prove it. Prove it. You know? Wild man. Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a bit, dude. Hell yeah. Anyways, so time passes when you're a lifer, like some of you guys are, and for sure, I mean, y'all know me, lifer. But like Craig, nobody likes to be defined by like a thing. You kind of want to, you know, solidify yourself as an artist. You know, we're not one-trick ponies here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you're a lifer like he is, it doesn't end with immolation. Come on, dude. There's so much more. There's so much more, man. And yeah, Down in Position Here and After. Fuck yeah, you know, Vomit Records from fucking Querétaro, Mexico. That's Antimo from all of his bands. Cantabellum right now is one that he's doing. It's Gorge, MX. I'm glad you're here, brother. Sherry, what's up, Sherry? You wild woman. Rest in peace, by the way. My condolences to your family somewhat recently. I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Anyways, so what was I getting at? Oh, so, you know, it doesn't end with, like, this thing. Like, I guess that's why something about, like, the metal scene, and the punks, mostly the metal scene, when we see, you know, when we get a release of something, you know, whatever, we kind of get curious. What am I listening to? Where did the fuck did this come from? Who did this? And you start to learn about, you know, so, like, musicians within bands. And then eventually they end up starting other bands. So you kind of like, your curiosity is piqued just by knowing, oh, so-and-so is in this new project or whatever. So because of, hopefully, and this is just by chance, you know, we get lucky, right? But hopefully that musician recorded something that, ooh, it grabbed you, it affected you, to where when you find out they're doing something different, you kind of follow, even if it's just to give it a chance, even if it's just to go, well, let me check it out. And somebody else plays it, or you find it on YouTube or whatever you do these days, you know. And who knows, you might go, well, of course I like this. Now, boom, you order your copy, and you fucking support, and you enjoy it forever because you own yours. You get your own copy. So that shit doesn't end, guys. It doesn't end. It keeps going. It keeps going. And Craig is a fucking fine example of a musician who proves that he's a fucking lifer. He proves it. He lives a fucking life of you know, hey, our lives are complicated, but it never leaves. It never stops. We're creators, we're musicians, and some of us are somehow like naturally in sync with this fucking frequency of creativity. Your sound, the way you play. Everybody's got their own like fingerprint. Like fingerprints. Everybody's kind of unique in their own application, their own interpretations. And sometimes naturally, dude, some people they just do something that really works, that really clicks, that stands out over time. Right? It's not just a fly-by-night thing. It's something stuck around. And, hey, man, sometimes, fuck, dude, they get lucky because of the timing, right? I'm sure if Here and After came out next year, who knows if it would have had the same impact on history as it did when it came out in 96 or something like that, 95. Who knows, right? Shit happens, and some people are blessed with being a part of that magic moment. And Craig had the opportunity, and he was prepared. We're going to talk a little more again with him. We're going to learn a little bit more about a little bit of his history, but I'm more about like what's new. So he's gonna come on and guys, I hope you get really motivated. I hope this episode's gonna motivate you artistically and just kind of in any kind of craft, man. If you're into craft, if you're a craftsman, get into it, man. Get into it. So let's, without further ado, let's cue the sound effects. Everybody, it's Craig. Say hello, Craig. Are you there?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we got audio. What's up?
We had technical issues last time.
Oh, yeah?
I think we had, I had to use the phone or something like that.
Yeah, it's all. It's a rocky kind of procedure trying to do these things, but the more you do them, the easier it gets, right? So yeah, thank you for hanging out with us, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Okay. Sweet. So, what I want to do, I'm going to pretty much lay it out today. I could hang out with someone like you all day and the night and just talk your fucking brain off. But everybody's got other things to do as well. So let's have a little bit of fun and then let's get back with our lives with hopefully some motivation to walk away from and a good time. Oh, and real quick before Aaron's here. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Kyle P. What's up? After the show, we're gonna do a Twitch and Craig gave us some songs that like a playlist. So you guys know how it is. You guys y'all put your requests on the chat and I'll add it to the playlist. It's kind of more jukebox, Craig, the Twitch thing. So what I'll do is and you can hang out if you want, or you can move on with your night because you're an hour later than it is over here. I normally go about 20 minutes and then I throw some silly comedy sketch and then I jump back on, talk for a little bit, do another 20 minutes. And so when the comedy sketch comes back, boom, that's going to be the end of that block, a little chitty chat, and just do it like 3 or 4 segments and call it a night, right? So that's different. That's the radio. So if you guys are into that after we're done, and you'll, as a matter of fact, look, Francisco did this for us. He made the banner. Because I don't remember all this shit. Look, boom. So there's the website, the Twitch. You know the saying, guys, if Fraser can do a Twitch site, what's your excuse? Fraser's able to do it. You can do it. You can start a Twitch profile shit. And you know how it is, guys. There's more wild shit over there as far as music. We play fucking Michael Jackson to fucking Merciful Fate. Like, we play everything there, man, and we'll even do we'll do movie shit and joke around because it's not recorded, it's all live, and sometimes we'll even play like exclusive new songs that like Carl or myself or Francisco, all our bands, we'll just play it to hear it, and it's like shit that's not supposed to be heard yet, fuck it, we'll play it, and it doesn't get recorded, so it
may never get recorded,
Yeah, or it may, exactly. At least we get to hear it, like a little teaser. So, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. Actually, coming up right now. Anyways, so you can stick around for that. We'll do that afterwards. So, all right, man. Let's get started. The last time, I think it was 2024, But I noticed in 2025, a lot of new shit came to light, the way the Big Lebowski said. I don't know if have you seen the Big Lebowski? He's all like, well, some shit has come to light, man.
No, it's one movie I haven't seen. People don't understand why, but
yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But anyway, so there's it just reminded me that I digress. A lot has gone on, and I have a few questions. Let's get the easy one out of the way, okay? You started a new band, or you joined a new project in September of 2025. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell us a little bit about that and what we have to expect from that, and then we'll play it. We'll show everybody a sample of one of your songs.
Well, I came across an ad in a Facebook post in the Florida area down here or this guy Casimir was looking to start a band from scratch, basically. And since I was suffering at the time with carpal tunnel, it was hard for me to play things that were already written, and especially if they were on a heavier aspect or level, then it was pretty hard to, get started with. So it seemed like something I could tolerate and just to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, when I contacted him and he sent me the music, it was, I heard that. I was like, it's got a lot of potential. I said, but I knew from right away, it's like, all right, I'm not like required to do something that I know my hands are going to be numb in the first 30 seconds. So,
in other words, you're not going to start off going.
Yeah, it was something I knew that it could be built on.
Yeah.
So, we got together and, I pitched him some of the ideas that I had from the songs he sent me. And, pretty much just kept working at it and building on the songs, and we're still building on it. So
yeah, I got some questions on the building on. I noticed it looked like it started with just you and him in the beginning, like a guitar and drum, and then eventually you guys got a bass player. And it's funny, man, because I just by chance I stumbled across like this post, and this guy goes, "Hey, y'all looking for a bass player?" Like he just threw it out there, like, "Hey, aren't y'all looking for musicians?" He said something like that. I think it was what's the other guy's name? I know it. Patrick, a bass player. He just throws his like a comment, and then it just like, well, like I guess it just kind of became a, well, check it out, and okay. Next thing you know, he's now added to the credits.
we used the internet for what it's worth to try and let however we could let people know. Again, we're looking for members for the band. So
yeah,
whether it gets seen or not, which most likely doesn't, we just figure, we'll see. You never know. Something, it may get recycled, and we'll see where it leads. But yeah, he hit us up. And he happened to be friends with the guitarist, with Kaz.
Mm-hmm.
So they got together. He showed him, a couple of the songs, and he's working out well.
That's fantastic, man. I would say initially, when I heard, I've been following it. I've been noticing you guys are posting little snippets, like cool drum cam stuff and little snippets of like rehearsal riffing. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Is that done intentionally? Like, are you guys planning to do this series of teasers, or is it because all those are just still partials of songs and they haven't been finished yet? Like they're still in work in progress mode?
Well, it's a little of both. I mean, the songs, all the songs, even the one that we recorded, like demo wise, we're still, they're getting altered here and there slightly, still keeping it what it is, but we're just building on the songs while we can. And the clips, most of the songs are written, but I don't want to give too much away. For one, people's attention span, it's not worth the effort to think people are going to sit there and watch, an extended, 20 seconds is good. 20 seconds of a catchy part of the song, which there's so many of them, and to isolate just one, going from one to the other, putting it out there, I think that works pretty good because again, people's time and attention span is limited. So throw out, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of a key part that I think of when I'm playing the song. I'm like, yeah, this stands out for me. So throw that out there. And, see how it what kind of feedback we were getting. It's interesting to see how certain clips have done really well, and some have done very well, or some have done extremely well. And it's weird, and I'm still trying to figure this stuff out too. Like, sometimes throwing it out, like I'm like, why is there text on that? I didn't want to put text on that. I'm thinking one day at a time.
How about the artwork? I noticed the artwork. Oh, and we're talking about the band. We haven't even said the name yet. It's Secolurum, right?
It's close enough. Secularum. Yeah.
Secularum. Shit, man. Sorry, I'm too literal. I'm looking at every vowel and but there's like a smoother way to just fly through them all. Yeah, secolorum. Anyways, I looked up what it means. It's Latin, and it means like the ages, the times. It's like generations. And
I've seen one that kind of sold me on the name. It said of centuries. So I was thinking of centuries. I'm like, yeah, that could involve a lot. Musically, you can have pull from anything that amount of time, so the sound, it reflects back to how the band would sound,
I think it's kind of it could be, I mean, you could use it any way, right? Everybody's interpretation of titles is, if you can find a way to connect with it, then it works, right? It doesn't have to be, this is what it means to the band, and that's what you have to take it the same way. Like, sometimes people just interpret their shit personally. For me, I thought it meant I thought it was kind of like saying old school. Like, this is the music of centuries, like of many generations today. All these eras of music, boom, and here's this package. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like a cool way of saying experience. See, like, here comes that's kind of
that's a very cool interpretation.
Yeah, just an interpretation. So I think that there's potential there for something. I love that, dude. That gets me excited. When you get that fresh song feeling, right? Not like the 100,000th time.
When Kaz sent me the 2 songs that he already had recorded that were like 10 years old.
Shit.
They were already like 10 years old. But I heard, for one, the production was good. Yeah. And there wasn't any drums or anything to it. It was just a guitar. And the harmonies were there. There was melodies going on. The leads were, everything was done, So for my imagination, I'm like, yeah, I can hear what can be done with this. And even the demo song Berserker, that's not the speed that the song we right now. It's like,
it's probably more like gelling and.
I don't know why, for some reason, because we clicked it out and it felt right, but
now it feels slow.
And I'm just like, it felt good when we were playing to it. It's a little slower now. It's at the right speed that it's intended at. So it's good. Like, it's again with the little clips, to go back to that. I say to the guys, like, we're not even going to record now. We're just going to throw out little clips like this, and you want to hear us, come see us.
Oh, so that reminds me of something I was going to ask you about. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and share with everybody that clip that I have of the band, and then we'll dig a little deeper. So let me go ahead and set this up, and y'all kick back and check out this sample of Secularum. God damn it. And enjoy.
sometimes Kaz playing the bass.
Yeah.
That's what we really like doing pre-production. So even though it's working on songs, we don't have any photos.
What was that?
I was saying, we've been hard working on the music, so we don't have really many photos.
Right. Yeah, the solo, man. All right, we're back. Yeah, man. So, yeah, it's a little hard to hear the talking when the music's going on. I got this weird compression and it pushes the voices down. What were you saying, man?
That we don't have many pictures on that page.
Oh.
For the most part, working on music. So.
Yeah. It's funny, man, when speaking of art, if you're lucky, there's someone in the band who's real, like, fucking picky about, nah, man, it's got to look like this. It's got to be like, you know what, dude? Thank you. You do that shit, because I'm not as like motivated with the visuals. I mean, they matter, but in the creativity department, I'm like more the music, like yourself, I suppose, than the visual.
I joke around with the guys. I'm like, dude, these people will be lucky if you play well.
Yeah.
We'll come to the club.
It's got to make sense. I mean, it should always make sense, Paying to play is a whole other can of worms, dude. What a pain in the ass.
It's funny, though, because the group of guys, it's like, from my perspective to the bass player, he's, a little younger than me. And then Kaz is behind him. And from my experience to down to others where less experienced, the drive is like, to get things done and we got to do this, we got to do that. And I'm like, yo, man, it hurts to move.
Well, that's a good segue to what I wanted to. I wanted to shed some light on this. Let me share this this little website here with everybody. So talk to us. I put it over here on this screen, so I can't see what's going on. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, yeah. This, there we go. This, weird. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. The screen glitches sometimes. And, yeah, I'm trying to fix that. But check this out. So, okay. This is a website. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. It's called the Musician Treatment Foundation, right? And I was, looking up new jams, and in Googling this new jams search, I find this. And on here, they spotlight you. They talk about you. If y'all visit the website, it's MTF for Musician Treatment Foundation. So it's an acronym. Then it's USA.org. And on this page here, where it showed your picture, gives a little rundown about stuff you're into and what. Talk to us a little bit about this, man. How are you on this website, and how are you involved with all that?
Well, it started with me getting symptoms of carpal tunnel, like quite a ways back, and which was, and anybody that goes through that condition, to try and play an instrument is, it's disheartening.
Mm. How long have you been dealing with carpal tunnel?
Decades.
Oh shit.
So
Decades.
yeah, you ignore it. You think a guy, and when you're younger, you're like, I'm invincible. You'll worry about it later, and then when later comes, and then you're like, oh shit.
Later got here.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, drummer friend, the guy Joe up in Canada, he made me aware of this foundation.
Uh-huh.
And he was telling me that John Longstreth
Yeah.
also was, a recipient from the foundation.
Oh. There's probably a page on him in here somewhere too. If I looked, I might have found it.
Yeah, and I looked up a podcast he was on. He was talking about it. I said, you know what? After what he said, I contacted them and I said, look, this is what's going on. And basically, the foundation, it was founded by Dr. Barron, and his father was a guitar player, and his father suffered from carpal tunnel and wound up not being able to play anymore. And he wanted to get to the bottom of this if he could, so he started this foundation. He didn't want other musicians to suffer. So it's fantastic, really. I mean, absolute blessing.
Well, I mean, I'm like really interested in this. I mean, we were kind of chit-chatting prior to starting, and one of the things we were saying is we've been doing this for a while. I mean, I've been doing it for a while too. We've all been lifers. We're dubbed lifers. This is not a fad. Kind of live this thing we do, and your body can only deal with so much, man. It takes a fucking beating. So anyhow, what I was gonna say is, I heard about this, and I started talking about this to all my other musician friends. Drummers who are. I mean, what a tragedy when you have these talented motherfuckers and their bodies are starting to hurt. They get out of bed, and it's just like, it's this aching getting out of bed thing. My feet, dude, my elbow. I got this knee that blew up on me a couple times just waking up one morning and you're in pain and your shit's all swollen. Like, what the fuck? And carpal tunnel. Jesus, dude. It's like that. I don't know if you remember or ever saw on television. There's these races of these big monster trucks, and they're like, and they're going super fast, and they got like weights behind them or something. And as they run down this like quarter mile, the weights kind of move, and then it slows down the truck to where you can't go anymore. It's like a long jump competition for these. Anyways, that's what it reminds me of, dude. It's like you're getting better, you're getting faster, you're improving, and then your body's like and like flew too close to the sun. Yeah, man. Fucking rowdy. But the irony is, if you're saying decades, a lot of these things that we'll be listening tonight technically were recorded during times of your life where you were just dealing with this shit, and even that, dude, your fucking performance is still sick, dude. So for us to know.
The good thing is you're supposed to hold a drumstick, delicately. So. With my hands being numb, I kind of just even though I couldn't feel it was there. I knew it was there, and I just knew if I just kept my hands the way they were, it most likely would stay where it is.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I've talked to my buddies about that. An injury makes you learn a new technique. You ever had that, where like you're fucking hurt, and so you fucking have to drum a different?
Yeah, I had to alter my playing. You know, I had to.
Yeah.
You know, ever since the surgery, it's been, you know, it's night and day difference. I mean, literally.
Really.
Even though, because it got to the point where I couldn't, if I was just sitting down with my arms on a chair on an armrest, it'd start going numb.
Damn it.
I have to like just let my hands just drop, like hang.
Okay. So it was like, so grabbing the stick, obviously, that was torture.
I mean, it just was, it went from affecting me when I was playing to affecting everything I was doing.
Exactly.
I was ready to go to sleep, and my left arm would start going numb, and my hands would be going numb. I had to sleep like this. You know?
Like a fucking Nosferatu.
Like on my side, like that was the only way I could sleep without my hands feeling like they were going to sleep. Shit.
Well, so if I get this correctly, they helped you with a surgery, or was it a therapy?
Yeah, I had both hands done, and you know, after I reached out to the foundation and spoke with them, there was they tried to accommodate me here in Florida, and the doctors.
So where are they normally from?
They're out of Austin, based out of Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Correct.
Oh shit. Okay.
And they have one office in New York City. I'm not sure if there's any more, or if there is, I'm unaware at the moment.
Right on.
They were trying to get something to a doctor down here in Florida. Fell through, so after, you know, a few back and forth emails and phone calls, I said, you know what, just going to go to Austin. So flew in on Friday, had the surgery done, flew in on Thursday, had the surgery done Friday, and I was back home, on Monday.
Of course, you weren't like fucking, you know, fucking spinning sticks, but what was the recovery time then?
Both. It was about 2 months to because it went from, you know, the condition to now that it's, you know, corrected, and like pulling on your socks and trying to open a medicine bottle, you know, the littlest thing, could not do it. Yeah. It was kind of nerve-wracking for a moment there, but I knew it's just like, just be patient.
Oh shit!
Just be patient. You know, and I'm not a patient person. I'm really not. So it was. I'm glad I had the time off from work to, you know, recoup. So.
Yeah. Well, you're patient enough to deal with me, dude, and I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, cool, dude. Let's move forward. So, like I was mentioning earlier about, you know, how do I say, throughout the years and dealing with this stuff, I kind of want to play a couple jams here and there too. So let's take a little talk break here and jam out to some of the youth, some youthful jams here. Let me set up the little buttons here. This is Valamash. Let's take it back, dude.
Yes, it does. Yes, it is.
All right. Okay, so let me kill this right here. Doop. All right. Not bad, man. Not bad. Hope y'all like that. That's a, the reason why I chose to play the newest jam first, and then the oldest jam second, is because I think, and I could be wrong, but I think one of the reasons why you like this new project is because it's kind of a return more towards thrash and less death metal, so to speak. Because I mean, there was like a death metal when it first started was kind of like a cousin of thrash. It kind of came out of some of the thrash music. It was kind of hard. Like there was death thrash at some point. You know what I mean? Like it was like some thrash is deth metal. There's an argument on all that in the early years, right? But this new stuff,
again,
the beats.
I liked what I heard for one, but I knew that it was something that, in my condition at the time, it was doable.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wouldn't be like, lugging equipment and then, set up and then go to play and be like, I can't do this.
Right.
So, but I saw somebody asked if that was the same ride symbol, and yes, it is the right same one.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on, I want to, this thing is fucking glitching on me again. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this guy, Sterling Junkin, he is one of my favorite drummers. I know the guy personally. He's from this region where I live. Now the guy lives out in the West Coast, and he's a fantastic drummer. That dude he's one of those like flying feet guys, you know, just comfortable of just. It's not about like being the fastest, you know, buzz roll speeds. It's not that. I mean, like smooth cross country running, like and he's calm and cymbal talk. You know, he speaks. He's not just playing a beat. He plays his drums. You know, and his feet, they just stand out, dude. His feet are fucking awesome, dude. He taught me how to play my kicks better in person. So yeah, he's a fan of you too. Moving on. So okay, next in this new band, right, and in your current kind of ongoings, there's this cool thing. Let me pull up this picture. I want you to explain, talk on this image here. Let me see. Grab the image. Here it is. Tell us about this event. It was very recent. Just came up last month, a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago. Tell us about it, man.
Well, that's a studio we rehearse at, and we were like rehearsing there before they officially were open. And during their grand opening, they were having some live bands play and whatnot, and like an open house kind of thing. And they asked if it was cool if some people came in and, you know, checked us out while we were playing. And we said, yeah, sure, why not? That's cool.
Yeah, I was seeing the advertisements. It was really neat from this side. I mean, that's like your side. From my side as the viewer, it was like grand opening, Loud Studios in St. Petersburg. I've barely once been to Florida, right? But you know, fucking Florida is really part of the roots of a lot of American death metal. I mean, there's a lot of important bands came out of Florida, right? So you learn about all the studios in the different towns, like Tampa is going to be one of the main spots. St. Peter's, like, is pretty close as far as activity, maybe, and venues and bands and stuff. And then you got some way south in Miami, and then you might have some others. But those two towns, right? Those are the main extreme metal towns. Is that right?
Well, I mean, in general, it just seems like the areas down here are very musically oriented. You know, there's a live band playing somewhere. You know, which is good. You know, I mean, there's a lot of potential for an audience. So.
I think there's pictures of this. Let me see if I can. There's pictures, I think, of you guys or you in that room. They're on your official, right? There's like some photos of you at.
There's a couple photos. One is from where we recorded the demo, and there may be one or two from Loud. But that's good. It's got a bunch of different rooms. Very relaxed.
Let me see. Tell me if this is from that room. Hold on. I just want to. I'm not going to show the video, but that picture, right?
Yeah.
That's.
Yes.
That's neat. So it looks like a very tall ceiling.
Yeah, it does angle down though. It's cool too because these guys have been turning their amps facing the corners of the rooms.
So it sounds all muffled in the room, or what?
Well, what it does is when we're done at the end of the rehearsal, I'm not like I feel like I've got Havana syndrome or something. You know? Like the frequencies, like shit, like throws your brainwaves off.
I get you. Yeah.
In fact, they have them put facing the corners. One, it's clearer, and it's just less, you know, getting driven right at me because I'm sitting at that level. You know?
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. There was a band. I can't believe, dude. As a guitar player, as time has passed, my gear has changed as well. You know, we used to have. Both me and my other guitar player, we had full stacks. So we were running eight speakers, right? 4 in one box and 4 in the other, and then the amplifier on top of that. So we had this towers of guitar gear. And then over time, that became like a half stack. As we got older and shit, like we stopped carrying that much gear. Now I have half of a half. I literally have a dual speaker box instead of the 4 or the 8 that I used to use. Point is, I know what you mean, man. Like, we would practice with the 2 fucking full stacks, the big old double bass drum, big ass drum set. The guy had, there's like thin, medium, and heavy, or rock. They call them rock cymbals because they're super thick. Right? Yeah. All his cymbals were 18s and 19s, and they were all rock. So every cymbal just, man, we'd walk out of rehearsals fucking just the way you described it, man, disoriented, just super bad. I know I'm suffering from that today.
It's cool too, because what we're doing, we're hooking up the just got a couple room mics going, 2 overheads and 1 in the kick drum.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going through the PA, and so sounds pretty good.
Check it out. There's this other. What's that?
It's a good rehearsal spot.
And is it like far away from where you live, or is it
35 minutes?
That's
that
not
was
it.
when we recorded the demo.
Oh, okay. Dude, look at that beautiful setup, man.
Yeah, we recorded that song in 2 hours.
Wow. You know, it's funny. People,
we rolled up, walked in, and we're like, all right, where are we setting up? Set up. Like, all right, you rolling the tape? Dude, it was so funny. The guy was just like, well, you guys got to slow down. Like, we're like, come on, man, time is money. It was pretty funny. But I mean, we were like in and out. The guy was just like, I can't believe what I just saw.
Dude, you did. I'm sure he's never gonna forget that. I have a story that way. One time I recorded one of those norteño bands, right, the Mexican music, and these guys recorded, and I'm not exaggerating, 16 songs in one sitting.
Wow!
And it was like they'd go through it, and I'd be like, okay, hey, do you want to? It's on Spanish. Do y'all want me to play it back? Do you want to listen to it? No, it's okay. What's the next song? And they're already like, what's the key to the next one? Oh, that one's in sol or in fa. And oh, okay. And I was like, okay. So I'm queuing forward the tape, marking it. All right, let's go to the next song, dude. 16 songs starting from like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon until about midnight. 16 songs, dude. I was like, and these cats they've been doing it forever. You know, like blues bands, they all kind of sound the same, but they got their moments. It's kind of the same scenario, but a different genre, this conjunto music. Wild, man.
That's crazy.
So that was you. You all went in there and pow, pow, knocked out fucking song.
We did the track, at least the drum track. So, but it was just like in and out, had to set up, mic up, and, get the sounds and whatever.
Dude, that's really fast. I take 2 hours to set up the mics for anybody who records in this little. Whether I'll record drums in this room or in the room next over there, and I'll run a snake to the board, which is right here, right? And it takes a solid 2 hours. So I'll tell bands, dude, hey, can y'all be here at like 11 or 10? They look at me like, what? How early do I gotta wake up? And they gotta drive maybe half an hour to an hour to get here, so that means they have to wake up at 4 before to get ready. Like, guys, you're gonna show up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're not gonna start till 5 or 6. So that's just setting everything up. The fact that you guys got it out in 2 hours ish, dude. That's even my hats off to those engineers who were working there.
We were scheduled to start at 2. We got there about maybe 1:30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when the guy showed up and let us in, we set up real quick, and he had another guy or assistant with him helping him with the mic. And even the sound of the drums, I was like, I wasn't even concerned about that.
You just punk rock.
About that after the fact, I said, let's just get the track laid. I'll know if it's right because of how it feels. So, and we've had it clicked out, so it was interesting.
It helps when you have also good sounding gear, and that's kind of tough to come by sometimes. And, you earned it, and you worked hard for it, and you have a badass kit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was fun playing it. I wish we were recording more that day.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I love these pictures, man. They get me so stoked. Speaking of getting stoked. I also get really excited to hear when as you get heavier. You know what I'm saying? The thrash stuff is cool, and I like how you came from this metal to a death metal. I mean, to me, I'm sure you feel there's metal and then there's death metal. Yes, they're both a metal genre, but when someone says I play metal, you're not gonna dabble with these other beats. And when someone says death metal, they'll do their death metal beats, but it's funny. But we also do those other beats. Like we do that plus more, right? So I like what you started like growing and adding and shit. And the next band that I want to play is for me and chronologically impactful. Like boom, another thing happened. So let's pull up the next track. Let's go with Gorophobia. We'll go with I picked the track Poltergeist Entrapment, which is one of the track one of one of the earlier recordings, right? So I have a couple questions about this track, so let's jam out to that one, and we'll be back. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And we're back. So that kit, which was in what, 89 or 90, the recording we just heard?
Yeah.
Was how was the layout different compared to what you're using like today, as far as the tom up there and the cymbal?
It's pretty much an extra floor tom. That's the only difference.
So you've had that little fucking cute tom up there. You've had that there
Yeah,
forever.
I liked Clyde Burr's setup, and then like when Nico stepped in, he had it similar, but his toms, went to what is it, an 8 and a 6.
Yeah.
So,
And they were way taller too. He'd have them like fucking straight instead of angled. They were almost like in front of him. Yeah, yeah. Clive Burr, man. A lot of people, of course, appreciate him, but just this is to the chatters and people listening and watching. Just remind yourself. Go back tomorrow or after the show, and go listen to the first couple of fucking Iron Maiden and the what is it the Roadhouse tapes? Listen to those. Listen to the the first few albums. Soundhouse, Roadhouse, with a Patrick Swayze mix. You know what I mean? Sorry, hold on, man. That was a total fucking. Hold on, cover your ears.
Poser alert.
Roadhouse. Sorry, dude. Anyways, yeah, man, Clive Burr, man, his hats, dude. And what's interesting too is there was a lot of post-punk and punk bands that were doing that beat, coming from Manchester.
That guy was quick.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, y'all remind yourselves. Go listen to some Clive Burr again. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So I got a couple more tracks here. I'm gonna play the next song because I wanted to comment on this cool thing you do. Move from the studio. That not a lot of drummers do. You do a thing other drummers don't do. They do, but let me just get to the point. So you have a fantastic way. You're very mindful of your hi-hats. A lot of extreme drummers treat it like a ride, if that makes any sense. And maybe they don't even use the pedal. And I notice you're very aware, like we've already heard in these last examples. You're mindful of using your hats, and also there's certain scenarios where not only do you use it, but when you use it is really interesting to me. You'll end a song, or you'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll like hit some downbeats as just hats. So I like. Where does that come from? Is that just something that happened naturally, or did you hear something and it just became something when you tried to mimic that?
I mean, I'm not sure really. There's just certain things I'll listen back to rehearsal tapes or whatever, and I'll just start laughing. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? It's like hitting. It's like almost hitting everything just to hit it, but like hitting it with some sort of structure to it. But it's like it's on the fly, so it's kind of comical. Like it's almost like this is ridiculous. It's like it's getting almost ridiculous, but because I guess there's something about it that it's just before ridiculous. I would say. Yeah, I don't know. I do fills at at the end of 2, 4, 6, 8. I tend to end fills to enhance. Say like with the hi-hat.
Yeah.
I'll do that to keep count in a sense, but I'm also doing it with the sound because I want to, I want to hear that. Like I need to hear that while I'm doing the roll. Like it's not necessary, but I want it there just because, hey, got foot, use it.
Right.
Even if it's only for a measure.
Yeah. You know what? Like on that Gorophobia, there's a couple of one repeats, and then you just go to the next riff right away, and you'll fucking say, "Oh, we're gonna do this riff once. Check it out." You fill that one time with activity, as opposed to just keeping count for four counts. You took a chance and you played something. It's a lot of cymbal talk. I love that shit.
Interesting. Like one of our new songs at Secularum is the third song that we have. Originally started out much slower, like a complete it's the song's since flipped on its head because the way it started out, but it was cool in a sense because it was just like it got to a point where one day I'm listening back to a rehearsal, and I said, you know, this whole thing needs to be faster. It's just like just needs to be faster. That's it. Like it needs to.
So that you can move kind of more fluidly, and then it just feels a little bit punchier.
Like, for example, in the demo song Berserker we did, there's things done at the speed that it's recorded that when you hear it, it's like, no, it's not how it goes. It's not how I'm not getting the same feeling when I'm hearing it because it's slower. So it's more reserved sounding, you know, where when it's at the speed it should be, it gives an impression or leaves an impression as it's, you know, in real time. As it comes and goes, it's you felt something from it where on the recording it's you're just hearing it. Because,
like the tension isn't there, right? It's too safe, like you said, and you add a little tension, and it kind of grabs you.
Sounding. And when things are kicked up, it changes. Not everything, but certain things, a dynamic can change for the better, and the song just like completely took off. Like, wow, what a difference! Just, you know, okay, let's. Instead of doing it like this, let's try it like this. And now it's completely like I have one rehearsal of it on my phone. It's just the audio. The first 2.5 minutes of the song is nonstop.
Right.
Fills at the end of every measure, like alternating fills, alternating accents, ride, hi-hat work. You know, they're and when you hear it all together, it's like, okay, yeah, it works. But to go that first 2.5 minutes, and then there's like the first like rest, and then the song has like another couple parts. Like I think it's like another minute, or maybe a minute and a half. But that whole part is basically a roundabout way of saying we're getting to the end of the song. Because I've noticed that there's I don't know if you've done things like this, but if I'm playing a song, I'll the beat that I'll do that's at the end riff, I'll touch on it for a moment in the riff before it, like just for like a count or two, like it's coming up. Like in other words, and then go back to the other thing, and then go into, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's just something I find that I do with writing songs and at least retaining the pattern.
It's like having callbacks, like you're teasing something, and then you kind of you let it dictate what happens for a while, and then you call back to that thing that was the teaser, and somehow, whether it's a hat or the tom or some kind of beat that teases, like you're saying.
Now there's a fill I'm doing, a fill that I did on the demo of Berserker. That I still do it there, but now I'm also I've added it like somewhere where like it's unexpected, but it works, you know. And I'm like, yeah. So and that's why it's a demo.
Well, you know, and that's gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All the songs are going to be different by the time we go to record.
Yeah, they're going somewhere. They're still kind of becoming something. But what you reminded me of, and that's something very for me. I feel like, oh, that's very Craig. You know, when I hear your drumming, is you eventually get to a point when it's time to record it. It's written. it's like a written part, and you're discovering those things right now, right? Because you're playing it, and then and so the first thing is like, oh, I know when parts happen, so you kind of start to speed up a little bit. Then you start writing as you feel the flow. It's flowing now the writing, and maybe sometimes you overdo it on some rehearsals, and maybe sometimes you kind of get tired of what you did, and then something like, oh, let me, and a little cherry
or
gets on top of the.
Something different happens, which leads to something completely unexpected as well, like the way of playing a fill, like or something led me into playing a fill like somewhat the way I've never done before, and I was like, dude, that sounded pretty cool. I think I got it recorded, which is always record every practice.
There you go. Yeah,
even on your phone, whatever.
Yeah, I love that, and the end products. On your recordings, again, this is just my interpretation. I mean, I'm not the wizard behind the curtain, as they say, right? But it's like they become this, like there's, like I was like, you're very melodic, but I don't know if that's accurate to say melodic, but I feel like there are written, singable, air drumming, singable shit, memorable stuff, these patterns that stick out, that actually add to the song. Like if a band were to cover those songs and the drummer didn't play the fucking China where it doesn't belong, right? Instead of right, everyone wants to like chop down on a hi-hat, but you'll go you'll do like a that kind of like shit. Who does? You're the very few people who thinks that way.
Some ghost notes in there. Yeah, there's
that too.
I'm kind of. It's weird because some of the songs, they're like the tempo is. It's like that. I mean, you could have a faster click.
Yeah.
But to me, that tempo right there is like, you can just kind of throw your hands at. If it's 4/4, you could just throw your hands at whatever is in front of you.
Yeah.
And and it's kind of almost like it does. It gets funny at times. Like I've been listening back, and I'm like, what what's going on? Why? Like, I don't know if this is something you've experienced, but I've heard parts for songs, and I heard what I sensed, I guess, or I could envision what I was going to do or how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was doing yet. When I heard it, I'm like,
yeah.
I know how I'm going to do it, but I just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah. Or what, like where it needs to be, but like how exactly it's going to happen, that shit kind of grows.
Like you're figuring out how you're going to play to what you just heard, and as it's coming into form, it dissolves, and you're like, oh shit. I almost had it. It's like it'll come back to me.
So people who are listening to this rant we're on right now, they're like, geez, these guys are really masticating the fuck out of the concept of these drum riffs. This is why we're talking about what we're talking about. I'm going to play the next song. This is a great segue into the next song. And the listeners, we're going to hear everything that he is playing. There's a fucking grandfather clock of stuff happening, and you have to remember it. All that really, really affected me in how I write and record today, and I'll be real specific on that. But let's play the song, and then we'll know exactly where we're coming from. So let's pull up the banner. Where is that fucking button? Here it is. Boom. All right. Let's jam.
Cross,
Pinche hi-hats.
Yep.
Oh, that fucking fill. Hold on, I'm gonna rewind that fill. That fucking drum fill is stupid heavy. I went too far, but here, we'll get to hear this shit. This fucking fill right here. Fucking dirty. Woo! Hell yeah. That snare. Little double snare. God damn, dude. Come on, drummers. Take fucking notes. Big ass drums. Ooh! Boy? Yeah! Fuck yeah. And the fade out. Oh, dude. Hold on, man. I got goosebumps, man. I mean, God damn it, dude. That fucking... Dude, come on, man.
We're talking about that fill, right?
You do it, and you do it more than once. You make a point to punctuate, and you're like, oh, guess what? It wasn't an accident. I can do it again. I was like, oh shit, dude. That's fantastic. You wrote it and you played it twice, or maybe even 3 times. That little tickle at the end, you did it the same. It's like that wasn't a fluke. I can do it again. Oh.
And one of the reasons that is because of the lack of other things to do.
How's that? What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know many rudiments, and what I was shown, from 3rd grade, I remember that stuff.
Well, I mean, it's ironic you say that because, that's the thing. You just got to play. You got to play from your fucking heart, the way...
So, it's kind of like there's a lot of footwork like that throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll hear, especially with the new stuff now I'm doing it. But, now that my hands are opened up, it's kind of like they're taking the feet are taking the back seat to the hands now. So
interesting. Okay. Well, what I was going to say is it's ironic that you're just playing from your heart, but you are playing some rudiments. And maybe those rudiments were the early ones you learned. Like, regardless of all that theoretical nerdy shit, it's coming out in a very Neil Peart fashion. You're not going to go... Sometimes you're going... You'll throw in the... you won't just keep that same chop all the way across. You'll like double it up. And you're very aware of when the sticking starts and which drum it lands on, and it's repeated, right? And that's what I mean by sometimes people just jam out, right? When you're fucking closing your eyes and You know, you're fucking John Bonham, right? And you're just going by muscle memory. Sometimes you write something and you practice it so much that fucking cool thing is a more advanced muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Do you practice a lot?
Well, I work on my rudiments, which are, now that I can, what I couldn't remember, I'm getting reintroduced and waking up the wrists, and, working my left hand.
Uh-huh.
But as far as playing on the set, no, I do that at practice. Or I may mess around on the E-kit. But
Yeah, you got an E-kit.
the problem with that, though, is, and I don't know if you have this problem, my pedals where they join the bass drum pad, the pedal itself, for one, is about this wide.
Oh, so you're hitting the fucking outsides of that sensor thing?
Yeah,
or whatever?
it's not able to like go fit in between that, for one. For two, it's my pedal shaped like the bottom of like most pedals I think are shaped like the bottom of a hoop.
Oh, they got that little arc, the little curve to it, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to mount the pedal to this bass drum pad, and it's not biting. The clamp's not biting because the bass drum pad's flat
Right.
on the bottom. So it's got a curved thing that's trying to. It's so.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it does depend on which trigger pad you have, because yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's some where that little sensor fucking pad is not like big enough, and
It's a
so
rolling model. I was hoping they would provide some curved piece of metal, because it's got the bottom base and then it's got a piece of metal. I guess as a support, but that's flat too. It's like, you gotta
you just reminded me, my DW 9000s, the bottom. Okay, so you got the clamp, right? When you twist the deal, and it closes, but it closes onto this thing, and this is what you're describing. That has the curve, right? Well, mine, I just realized that instead of having a bar, it's got like two circular diodes that are like pedals or platforms, and when the top part clamps, or the hoop, let's say, lays on my the base of my pedal where it grabs on, it's touching on two big discs, like two big ones, and they have like a ball socket thing, real small, so they'll confirm to the arc of the hoop. But when I put it on my roll-in thing, it just looks like a straight thing with a big old round head like this with a little tripod thing. Yeah, that one's flat, and I know what you're talking about. It's flat, but I guess because mine has those little fucking rollerball deals, it just straightens out. So, oh man, I guess I dodged a bullet on that, because I know what you're talking about. Some of them are.
I kind of have to have it like off center.
Yeah,
and then I got to kind of put stuff underneath either side.
Yeah. So that's fucking with you, though, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's getting in the way.
Yeah, I know.
Well, fuck it, man.
I'm sure Roland will,
Just have them send you a signature series bass drum trigger that has an arc thing. Come on, let's go, Roland. Pick it up.
I'm sure they have an adapter that, or some sort of different attachment I can put on there so I can mount it.
Yeah. Well, here let's jump onto another song. Talking about footwork and stuff. This album, I have less experience with it because I learned about it later. I didn't grow up with this one like I did with Immolation, and it was a later, newer recording. I think it was 2013, 2014. I believe you recorded with Kaz the Masada, right? That's you and Grant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking badass. That's a badass set of jams. So let's go ahead and listen to. So that is going to be the carpal tunnel era, right? I mean, that would be more of the.
I mean, there was times where it was not as prevalent then as it was prior to my surgery, but it was still there.
Yeah. Well, again, like I was saying earlier, I couldn't tell. you played through it really well, man. It sounds sick. So let's play this jam and let's kick back for a second. And the fade out. Let's see. Damn it, the button.
I haven't heard that song in a while.
Yeah, it's got some activity, man. Another example of I'm sure like you were kind of writing it and it was kind of growing the more you would jam it until you eventually figured out these kick-ass patterns and tracked them.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty much, those songs were I think Chris wanted to have keep it kind of more simpler, more direct, and it was in a sense, that's why the feet were just mainly, was
yeah, kind of like just kind of grid, kind of on the beat, Well, you need that because sometimes to be too frantic, to be here and there, it can tire you out. And sometimes having that like backbone that is predictable but like very heavy, it allows for someone to groove with the music. So that reminds me, man, like Francisco, he's like the king of the castle. He runs the show. He and I have a band together, and I'm gonna show you a song. I wanted to share a song with you because I even told it to him. I go, hey, this is my Craig Smilowski impersonation. So like that song, I just pretend like
man.
if it was I was listening to you. I literally tracked, and it'll be real obvious. You're gonna be like, Joe, that was my fill. Why are you covering my fills? But hey, man, it's like the best form of adoration is imitation. That kind of shit, right? But anyways, before we get to that, yeah, dude. But before we get to that, yeah, it's just another fucking fine example. And hey, everybody, I don't know how you feel. You can be honest, dude. Just be honest. Be honest with us. Dude, you've got a lot under your belt. Does it get fucking old if someone just goes, oh, immolation, immolation. Like, come on, man. Like, does that bother you? Or you're like, well, yeah, it's cool. Like, it doesn't bother you at all. That seems to be.
It's very cool. I mean, to be a part of that group, or any group, that has, a high regard that they're looked upon at, and to, I don't think I would ever get tired of people, because it's nice to hear young kids, it's one thing when you hear your friends your age, or, it's like they were around, but when it's a younger generation that people come up to you or whatever, that's very cool.
Oh, wow, that's great, man. So not everybody has that kind of patience. You know what I mean? After a while, they're just like, hey, I've got all these, like, it's like you open your coat and you got like a bunch of albums here. Look at everything else I've done. Can you look at these other things? Some people are just like, yeah, they just take it. They just flow with it. It doesn't bother them.
I mean, that's what was, being, put to the people.
True.
I mean, that's what you can't like be mad at it or be upset if someone doesn't hear the other stuff or doesn't mention the other stuff you've done. They may not even have heard it because
that's
it was
true.
put out by some, much smaller label. So, to me, that's I don't think I'll ever, be like, here we go. No, it's always nice to hear. Because back then, what did we think? It's just recording an album. You want to record a good album, but like, how far ahead in the future are you thinking back at that age?
Right.
And like,
right.
and what things will be, or what impact they'll have.
Yeah, right. You wake up, you're like, I'm gonna write a classic jam today.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It really is. It's super awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna downplay it. It's great. I'm very grateful, and I can only hope to continue to leave an impact.
Well, and that's what I like about this, like this band Masada. We just finished listening to that. How did that even happen? How did you hook up with Grant and the other guys? And because this fucking project is, fuck, I barely found out about it myself, and I'm glad I did.
I think Chris was looking to do something for a little while, and he sent me like some stuff, and I don't think it like right away, like we got together right away. I don't think quite a while. I know there was a couple songs he wrote that I told him, I said, yo, that was really good. And like he couldn't find the recording or whatever. I'm like, couldn't remember what I was talking about. And I'm like, oh, that was the song, dude. That was the one. Like, if anything, that was it, man. And you don't know where it is? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while. I think it was just because Kaz knew Chris knew Kaz, Matt knew Chris and Kaz. I knew Matt. Me and Matt were in a band together, so somehow it all kind of materialized. Oh, that's what it was. Because Chris Chris was doing like the computer shit, like the graphics for the band I was with Relic.
Relic, yeah.
So he was doing like graphics for that, and doing. I think he even made up some CDs for us or something.
Oh, cool.
At one time, you know, it was like Xerox.
Yeah.
No, that's what we did. But he like did all the layout and stuff, and that's how I came to know him, I believe.
Cool. Yeah, I like those projects of the super bands. They're super, dude. They're super in their own way. What is super about it is that it's unlikely and it's unexpected and it's highly appreciated. That's one thing all these super bands have in common. It's nobody expected. It's like an all-star team. Jose Canseco and Nolan Ryan, and they're gonna play together and they're gonna whoop. It's like the dream team. Yeah. Another fucking fine example of a bunch of dudes who just in their own right, man. They left their own impacts, as you say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's a segue into this question. So Francisco is curious about, what you think of Jim Rowe and his drumming style. And just a footnote on that. I think it's interesting because you were in a band, and then after you, and then he was in that band, and then you were in another band, and then after you, then he was in that other band too. And it's just kind of neat how. Maybe it's because it's just not. There's only so many drummers, and especially only so many drummers of that quality of playing, of jamming. So it's kind of neat how you all have kind of been two fish, kind of fucking near each other.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
What do you think of his style, like his playing style?
I think Jim's a great drummer. I think he's fantastic. He's the kind of drummer that when he's playing it doesn't look like it's he's having any issues.
Mm.
He's very relaxed. Well rehearsed.
Yeah. And that's neat that you spot that, because that means it's important to you and it's already in your mind before you see it, because it's in your mind. You're like, oh, look, this guy can do a thing that I know is important. He does it really well. That's very good.
Well,
it's a sign of your technique as well. Is what I'm saying.
He's definitely more rehearsed than I am.
I wouldn't be able to know.
These guys, and they're from my own experience, I'm like, any other drummers forget as many parts as I do.
How many write as many parts as you do? Fuck, man. You write a lot of parts, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's certain things like even with if a part, if you're counting, like there was a part that was done. It was done. What was it? 8 times. It was only done 8 times, and for some reason, the way the riff was played, when I was counting it out, and it was 2 syllables, like 7. Somehow that and the riff threw my timing off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I can't say a 2-syllable number.
While I'm 7.
So I had to count to 3 twice, and then count to 2.
Or like a 3 and a 4, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that feels like 7. Yeah.
But yeah, it was no, it was an 8. Yeah, it was crazy though the way that
to count to 8, you're counting to 6 and 2, or yeah, holy shit!
Yeah, count 3 twice, because whenever even if I said it in my head, like mentally, playing the part, hearing the guitar part, trying to remember what's coming after what I'm doing currently, and then you know, having that all, you know, be fluid is just like that.
Wow, 3-3 and a 2.
Yeah,
That's fucking wild.
it's weird, you know. There's certain,
Yeah.
I don't know, if any other drummers go through, but weird as shit, man. Like,
But that's what makes you so interesting, man. That's what it is. Some people can overtrain. You know, like there's fighters, like if you're into sport, like fighting sports, boxing, whatever, you can overtrain. That can be a problem for a performance or a competition, right? And like sometimes people who overanalyze it or get too fucked up with the details, they lose the energy in the performance because they're too busy trying to be too perfect with this analyzation. You know, all that matters is that you have a way of interpreting it, and it's fantastic when it reveals how unique you are when you share with us how you actually do that. It's like, damn, that explains a lot, man.
I know that there's when we're building a song, I know that when I go to play it, I don't want it to be like just essentially easy, you know.
Right.
But and this comes with the faster stuff, you know. It has to be like going back to saying that it has to be at a certain speed in order for it to convey, or you know, come across the way you want it to. So certain songs, I like to keep it almost like it's almost like being a smart ass. Like there's fill happening, these little, you know, little roll accents with the rolls, little flutters.
Yeah.
And over time, you know, it helps build, you know, a pattern where, you know, it's not just beats, like you were saying before. You hear certain instances, but I don't know. I don't know why I do what I do.
No,
really
that's
don't.
cool.
I just go by what I feel, you know.
But I understand what you're saying.
Guitar player usually, or bass player, you know, is coming to me with, so they're the ones with the initial idea.
Right.
You know, and I'm just
you need the riff to play on, right? The riff is going to kind of like tell us what realm of drumming we're going to approach it, but then you're going to get creative with it.
Yeah, it just happens, you know. Play it a certain way, and then try it a different way, and then because of the rate of speed it's moving, it just evolves or morphs into another thing, but it was controlled. You know, it's interesting.
On that note,
these things come together through you know, messing with the structure or the tempo.
Right.
Sure. It's good to, you know, not just because of, you know, the way it was written, like that's how it's going to remain.
Very good point. My wife, actually, we have a band called Hexea, and she tells me like, hey man, like don't just take the first thing you do. Like it's gonna have to develop itself, and sometimes something as simple as the tempo can kind of make the moment more authentic. You know, like Francisco, he's another great one. He kind of will do things with tempo to me that at first I'm like, well, I don't know about that, because my instinctual way is to like try to just push through it, and sometimes it'll be like, can you bring it down 2 notches just because it makes the riff express itself a little better? You know, yeah, of course you can play faster. Who cares? Try not to. You don't have anything to prove. Just play to the riff, and that riff gets you there.
Learn things slower too, because you get a better understanding, like even on a subconscious level. So if you happen to come to rehearsal and you're a little, excited for the part, and you're playing it a little faster.
Mm.
Something evolves out of that. Like, whoa, where did that come from? And like, well, it's kind of like when you drop the stick and it doesn't really leave your vicinity, and you take it right back.
Yeah.
I haven't posted it. There's a clip of where the stick I'm playing and the stick comes out of my hand, but it comes back.
You're like,
and I just
shit.
take it back, and just like, and it's unfazed by it. It's just like, it's focused. It's but it's funny stuff.
Well, hey, speaking of tempo, that's a great segue into this next song, because this song is a little slower, and some would put it in the it's like funny, just because it slows down, they throw the word doom in front of it, right? Whatever, doom death, doom funeral, doom whatever. It just means a slower riff, but in essence. So I think this next song is a good example of a more controlled, like you used the word, it's more controlled riff. More a pace that allows for you to express yourself, because it's not trying to fly through the end. It lets you be musical. It lets you kind of figure shit out, feel things out, and then that reveals new ideas, right? So let's take a moment to jam out to this banger, this evil fucking badass EP. I wish there was more. I mean, there's more from the band, but they got another drummer now. So let's listen to this track that you're on. This section right here. Yeah, there's those fucking toms. That fucking bass.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. Woo! Stomping away. 4 on the floor, baby. Big ass drums. Ooh, the fade out. Oh man, talk about a big sound, a big
Yeah, and
fucking
you know,
dook.
when we were rehearsing for that recording, I was using Randy's set at his house. And then when it came to record, you know, I'm using my kit was like so much larger, and I'm like, oh. So I had to my body had to adjust to, because he had a like smaller, like the power toms or whatever, not the power toms, it's almost like the speed toms.
They were shorter, right? They were like a little more shallow.
Well, I mean, you know, it was a Tamistar Classic kit.
Yeah.
Compared to, you know, what I'm using and what I, you know, height-wise, what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
I got used to, you know, playing the things lower, and then when we went to record, I was like, wow.
To lift them up. Yeah.
Sit up straight, you know, like.
So on this song, it was great because there's some slower, more focused kind of riffage, and you would give in to that, you know, and then go explore from there.
That song actually was kind of, you know, we were a little excited, you know, to get that recorded, and I know, at least for me, I think I started off a little too fast on that. Because we wanted it a little slower, you know, I believe.
Right.
But
yeah, that's how it happens sometimes, man. You get too pumped, and then you go back. You're like, why did we record it that way? Or what also
was played live, you know.
Oh, it wasn't played live.
It was played live.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, you know, we didn't like click it out or, you know, anything like that. So.
Oh, what I mean live, like at gigs. Did you gig that song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that does something to you, right? You ever record a song and then after you've been playing it for a while, you play it better than you recorded it, and you're like, God damn it, dude! I wish I'd recorded it like the way I do it now, 6 months later or whatever.
I can remember for with Here and After, there was I don't know, couple years later, or no, It was the yeah. It was a couple years later. I'm still like hearing like I should have tried that there. It's like, dude, it's too late now. You know? But I'll still hear. To me, a song's never really done. You know?
Yeah, no shit, right? It's like you'll kill yourself just doing it over and over. You know, there's an engineer who was talking about that. He goes, you know, that is the biggest difference between recording on, let's say, tape versus recording digital. Is that back in the day, before we had digital, you kind of had to commit to what you were doing, or you had to be really prepared so that when you showed up to the studio, you know the stakes are high, but you're so overtrained that you kind of get to it. Versus today, we can just go Control Z, undo, you know, start over, click, 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 do it again. You're do it again, do it again, and you stop forcing yourself to commit to shit and being musical and figuring out your way through the damn song. You know, like you mentioned earlier, dropping sticks. I'll never forget that. What is it? There's a Sepultura song on the first album. And Igor's like you can tell he's like, oh shit, and he just kept hitting the hats, and then he picked up the snare stick again and brought it back in. I think DSI did it too on the first album. I think there's a stick drop, you know. Just keep going, fuck it, dude. Hey, like,
yeah, it's live.
You don't have budget.
That's one of the beauties of the live recording. You know, even in the studio, certain things happen. You know, they keep it. You know, when David Lee Roth gets interrupted by Eddie's guitar, and everybody wants some. You know, that was a mistake. You know, he started speaking too soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They kept it. They're like, hey, that sounds cool. It's like,
yeah. So we're gonna come to an end here of the main part of the show. 2 hours is good, man. We fucking got a chance to chit chat and get caught up with the new stuff and talk about your technique. You know, talk about gear. I before we come to an end, I just want to show you that one song. I want just check it out because tell me if you hear me completely and like blatantly ripping you off, like playing like I'm gonna play like Craig. I told myself, man, and it's one of my favorite songs, dude. It fucking rips. And you know, because it's not just like, hey, play like Craig. Craig has good licks, good techniques that, yeah, you don't maybe necessarily have to play the same thing you played, but those rhythmic concepts, they give me cool ideas. You know, the way you approach the toms, it's like a death metal version of Neil Peart as far as like the toms, you know? It's like, I can give you some instances, but I suck at song titles. But I know you know what I mean when you're running across the toms and you'll put in those little flutters and the bursts in there and stuff. Yeah, that's very you. And cymbal talk, you know? Fuck, man, you're one of my favorite.
I think there's like early Clyde Burr stuff. You can hear him like kind of doing some ghost notes, like in on the ride cymbal.
Oh yeah, Transylvania and stuff.
And I think like Strange World. Remember Tomorrow.
Remember Tomorrow. Yeah, that's got some luscious parts.
The ride, and he's got like ring, ring, ring. I mean, I think that's where I kind of get that from.
Oh, cool. Well,
it's like a habit too, you know. It's just like
it becomes a muscle twitch. It's like a thing that you're good at, and you don't have to think about it. You just whip it out.
It happens. I'm not really paying attention to it. And, you know.
Yeah. Cool. So here, tell me what you think of this track. This is by the band that Francisco and I play in. The band is ETD. It stands for Eat the Decay. We're gonna be playing out. This band hasn't been around a while. I mean, we've been musicians forever, but this band is kind of new as well. Only a couple years old, and we're gonna play some gigs this summer. We're gonna fly out and do some stuff. But this is from our first our first recording. We're barely gonna do our second one. I think it's coming out this summer, but let's jam out. This is a little bit of like death metal, grindcore. Craig Smilowski on drums. Craig Jr. Meanie me. All right, let's jam out, man. Let's see what happens here. Let's find this button. Boom. Here we go. Right here also. The riff after this. Like right here.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, I was like, I told Francisco, like, yeah, this is the Craig song. I love that shit, dude. That shit rips. It's almost,
if you're not paying attention, it may pass. Go right past you. You won't even notice.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, that rips. Yeah, dude. Wow, it's so crazy. I'm telling you, I love technology, man. Technology gave me the opportunity to communicate with you, man. You're a fucking you're one of my Mount Rushmore drummers, dude. You fucking roll, dude.
Well,
I'm very honored that you're hanging out with us.
Technology made it possible for you to, help me out when I was trying to figure out that shit with the Reaper and all that shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that shit. Getting you set up for riff writing and jamming and stuff. Yeah. And then the electric kit. You plugged your electric kit into that, right? And you were getting the sounds with that USB cable. We're working on that or something like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna have to upgrade though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need something where I can, and get like a little mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, man, you get yourself one of those little 4-channel bullshits for $99 or $69, and you can put your drums through it and put jams through it and put it all in the headphones, and you get a little more mileage.
Sample my set, and then just whenever I record, just could do it on the E-Kit and then just put the samples in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, technology's helping us get through it, man.
But then again, that is I was thinking of this earlier. I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that certain musicians will, and not so much, I don't think, with guitars as much, but I don't know. I find it interesting that you see like a musician, a drummer will have like a certain setup, and throughout their career, it'll like become less and less and less, and you know, and it'll change too. Like to me, I don't think I'll ever be done getting different sounds from this drum set. As far as there's certain ways you hit your snare drum when you're like rolling on it, and then if you lay into it a little bit harder, it gives a little bit more back. So to me, I'm always looking, for example, like on the ride cymbal.
That motherfucker right there.
I'm going to hit the bell, and I'm going to be going for some sound. You know, I'm always hoping that there's going to be a time where I'm hitting it where it's going to have a more unique sound than the last time.
All right, I get you. It also depends on like, yeah, there's tuning and all that shit too, right? Because the drums respond to, you know, how you have them set up, and then that kind of inspires you to play a different way. You know, oh, this got a little snappier, it made me do a little lick that I couldn't do before, or whatever.
I just think it's strange. Like, you know, I mean, like they got all they could out of that gear they were using. They can't get any more out of that. You know, I'll be using. You know, I mean, yeah, look at them things, man.
They're gorgeous, dude. They're big ass drums, man, and they speak.
Is that I think
that's a sonar, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's. I think that last tom is a 15 by 15. I think.
Weird. What a weird shape. I've never heard of a 15-inch tom, dude. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, thanks, man. You know, I'm fucking super honored again that you took the time to sit with us and catch us up and you know, reconnect on some stuff. I had a rant about this, that there's like this big swelling of buzz that people create for new shit that comes out, and then the thing finally is like, oh, now we're taking pre-orders, and then after that it's like it's you know, the release date is here, and then the release date comes out, and then everybody celebrates, and then it's like a week after that it's just like, whew, and the high goes away, you know, and the buzz, like maybe it'll trickle a little bit longer, another month if you're lucky, and then it's like you're back in the fucking soup with all the new stuff coming up, and it's
maybe you just need to enjoy all that pre-stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that way, when the final product does get in your hands, and then you're just like, you know, you look back at all that experience, you're like, that was great. I can't wait for the next album.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a great perspective to have, because how do I say this? We are not defined by what is today, but by like the span of it all. You know what I mean? And with so much shit that's out these days, it's kind of hard to keep track. So I like that you're allowing us to retouch on some of the previous things that you've done to keep the awareness alive. Yeah. And let's keep jamming out all the shit in between. The first thing, yes. The new thing, yes. But what about the shit in between too, guys? Come on.
Absolutely.
And if that it wasn't published, like you mentioned, some of the stuff was just hard to get. And if there's a demand for it, because we appreciate and really enjoy the music, maybe that'll inspire something to come out.
I'm grateful that the people do. You know, those that do.
If you guys know any label dudes who do it right, put the little bird chirp in the air. Be the little fucking serpent. Eat the apple. Release Craig's other stuff. keep reissuing them. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
this. Yeah.
It's cool,
So here's
man.
the next part of the show, dude. This next part of the show, we're gonna go ahead and just cross. What do they say? Cross your T's and dot your I's. So before we end this chapter and go on to the Twitch, you guys know the Twitch. We're gonna listen to. I'm gonna populate a playlist of Craig's choosing. Craig's gave me a list of songs, and when we go over to the other chapter, we'll just. I don't know, Craig. I know you're busy. It's late. You know, it's got to be 10:30ish over there in your time, and you've had a long day. And tomorrow's Monday, so if you want to hang out, you can hang out. But I just kind of want to let's end this. Don't leave yet, real quick, and then we'll continue on the night. All these other hooligans, myself, and all the chatters and all the hooligans and the chatters will jam out a little bit longer and enjoy Craig's list along with y'all's. And remember, the people know how to add stuff. So the Twitch is already on. If you guys want to jump over, it's been on this whole time. You can jump over, and that way when I kill the YouTube, you're not interrupted, right? So that is what that is. What was I going to say? We real quick, Craig. We have a co-host. He's like a silent producer. He's in the other room over there, and he kind of helps produce the audio and stuff like that while we're having our show. And he's known as like a Siskel and Ebert of metal, especially New Wabam. He's like this huge New Wabam like fanatic, right? But he's also an old school of extreme metal and stuff, and we told him, hey, Craig's coming, and it's this week, and it's tomorrow, and get ready, and this and that, right? And I asked him, I was like, hey, Fraser, what do you think, man? Are you stoked, man? Tell us about what you think about Craig joining the show. And he said he sent me a video.
I got no opinion.
That's what he sent me, dude. Can you believe that son of a gun? I tell him Craig's in the house, and what does he send me?
I got no opinion.
What a son of a gun, dude. What a son of a gun, man. This guy is a fucking... You know what he is, dude? He's one of these. Watch.
Poser alert.
Oh! So with that, let's close this and we'll start up the Twitch.
Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because motherfucker, if you not, I'm just letting you know he's coming back anyway.
I love that.
You've been watching Jammin' Adult Badass. Take care, everybody.